Hey, everyone. Welcome to August 1st meeting of Milledgeville Rotary. Please silence your cell phones as Mark Taylor joins us in service as Rotarian of the Day.
First off, I want to give thanks for the release of the hostages in Russia. That's a great way to start. For those who have seen me do this before, I'm giving the same prayer. It's the prayer of Francis of Assisi. It's a prayer for peace. Heavenly Father, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
Amen.
Before we pass to the things we think, say, and do, first, second, third, fourth, this club and this club alone, fifth.
Okay. Thanks for coming out this week. Please remember the cart buckets on your tables, and when you can, bring in the change from the ones in your cars. Will our August Sergeant in Arms, Terry Kennedy, please report? Yes, and right.
How's everybody? We have some guests today. Mark, we have a guest today.
I think I have two or
We
three.
have two, which is good.
My first is no guess to you all. You all know him better than I do. Hugh Thompson, former Chief Justice of Georgia Supreme Court. You and I got to know each other back in 1994 and maintained that friendship since. I'm very thankful. Secondly is Monica Starley. She is here as Kathy's right arm and sometimes my right arm. She does quite a bit for us and for our family, and we appreciate that. And then third, I'll make it more formal.
Okay, let's give him a round. Yes. Welcome. The number is last four digits are 5580. 5580. Nobody really? Nobody.
Don't worry off with the 4 digits.
I'm sorry. Come on up.
No, that's fine.
Did?
Watch me.
Okay. All right, I'll get you $10. Thank y'all.
You can keep it in.
Thanks. Thanks, Terry. Okay, Wendell, you want to come up and we always get you there. Everyone knows our Steve Wendell. He's going to join us for a rousing round of happy dollars in Kathy Claus's honor. So I think he's almost there, but while he's doing that, I'm going to he's done, he's good.
All right. Now, thank you, Cameron. And I was gonna say, Cameron, today your first day. I'll do $100 the first day, but that was July. That's how long I've been gone. All right, so I would hope, thank you for letting me back in today. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, now listen, I've got my boss here today. I need us to live and well. It's Thursday. And today, it's Georgia College Day, obviously. You know why? Because it's a day that ends in Y, okay? Every day, Georgia, thank you, man, thank you. Every day, Georgia College Day. Let me tell you, I just met my new friend Catherine back there. Catherine, what brought you to Millersville? Thank you, okay, all right. And Judge Thompson, when I saw your nephew out this morning at the ball field, what was he doing? Over at Georgia College today. Oh, not your nephew, your grandson, sorry. I saw your grandson this morning. Yes, sir, Georgia College, all right? All right, so we will get to that in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna give you, I got two things today that I'm gonna put money in for. And everything's positive, and we'll hear about it today. One is, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna announce my new softball coach officially. And a lot of y'all, I hope I see you there. It's at the Peterson Room, so that's one of them. And then two, I'm putting $35 in for this one, because on August 19th, my wife and I will be celebrating our 35th wedding anniversary. We have three. Yes, sir. On August 19th, we're celebrating our 57. That's what's right there. 57 for Judge. I appreciate it. Again, y'all get to see this all the time. My wife gets tired of this all the time. She has to do it all the time. Hey, tell us something good today. Tell us who you are, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there. Tell us who you are.
Michelle Dixon.
All right, Michelle, stand up for me.
Hi, because my friend for almost 30 years is here today.
All right, always count on you. Yes.
All right, $5, for Georgia College. I just had a conversation this morning with Ashley Copeland at the Gift Center, getting ready for Gift Day. And it is such a fabulous day, and Lockerly's getting ready for it. They're gonna help us start getting ready on the Christmas lights. We're excited.
Awesome. Yeah. So Georgia College, get back to your work. Is that what you say?
Every day.
Then we'll make sure. All right, every day you got here.
My daughter, our last six.
Now, hold on a second. You ain't gonna say Georgia College, but this, you were, okay? I saw you in public the other day, and I said, hey, your daughter's still coming to school. She said, no, where's she going? We're okay. We're okay.
You're doing it better.
Tell us about it, man.
He's headed off to Emory.
We love it. Right. Come on. Come on.
Few Thompson's wife. Yes, Jane was my Brownies, Girl Scout and Cadet troop leader
That's awesome.
and an alumni of Emory, and she wrote a letter to Emory for my daughter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Man, that's awesome. Great story. Thanks for sharing. So, yeah. I like it. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
How many children you have?
Big combined family.
Wow. Is it the last one?
Yes, it is.
All right, all right. Yes, sir. Judge Thompson, yes, sir. Tell us what you got. Anything positive today? We know about the wedding anniversary. Thank you.
Yeah, I've had a grandmother who graduated from Georgia College back in Georgia Normal School. I had a son who graduated from Georgia College and, was up in Madison now. Well, was grandson that you talked about, yes, sir. And I've got, another son who graduated from Georgia College. He was from Georgia College when he came through there.
All right.
And, he's back to medicine over at Charleston.
Man, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. You beat me to the punch of what I'm getting ready to do. That was a good intro. I appreciate that. Give it.
My grandson is starting GMC in the morning.
You ever been over at First Formation? It's awesome. It's a great time to be over there. So, yes, sir. Don, back in the back here.
I got $6. My son is starting sixth grade at Georgia College, early college today.
Who else we got? Yeah.
Alright, so.
I guess I don't know who you all are. Tom,
My youngest starts UGA.
that's all right, that's all right.
On the 11th, and my daughter, her senior year, would check.
Yes, fantastic, man, fantastic. How old are you? Almost done all that payroll, man. Jerry, you can finish it out here, it looks like.
20 on gratitude for President Cox during the state of GMT, and the other thing is for alumni of GMT.
Yes, thank you. All right, Kevin, you finish this out. Yes,
I like, have a kid going off to college. I like, anyway, she's going to Georgia Southern.
yes, fantastic. Well, be in here in a couple of weeks, yeah. Your first one?
First one,
How you feel about it?
not real happy.
How you feel about it? How you feel?
That's for real.
Okay. All right, Seth.
Been involved in Georgia College, and I just wanted to thank our alumni, because last year we increased alumni giving by 112%.
About that, how about that? Thank y'all for making me look good today. Thank you for, thanks for having fun. Always enjoy this. I'm gonna do one more thing here. All right, if you are a graduate, I did this last time. If you're a graduate of Georgia College, would you stand up? I'm curious on this one actually. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Awesome. All right. Keep standing. If you have a child who has gone to Georgia College or grandchild who's going to college, you keep standing, please. No, everybody keep standing. All right. Maybe raise your hand now if you have a grandchild or child. Okay, Bobby, good, Greg. All right, stand up, Greg. Stand up. Yeah. All right. If you work, keep standing. If you work at Georgia College, or you stand up. All right. I'm up. Stand up. Bring up. All right. If your spouse works at Georgia College. Yes. All right. Okay, Jimmy. Good. All right. Let's see. If you have ever taken classes, maybe you didn't graduate, but if you or somebody in your family's taking classes at Georgia College, you stand up. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. How about this one? If your business or your livelihood makes money off of Georgia College, you stand up. Everybody in the room stand up. All right. That's right. So when I come see you for money, you just remember what I just told you. All right, yeah. Man, we got a great place. I'm looking forward to hearing about it from President Cox today. And thank you all very much. All right. And you can see at 9 in the morning from a press conference. Get out at Peterson room up in the library. 30 minutes. Be in and out. See you more. Thank you.
So y'all might think that introducing your spouse is an easy thing to do. Trust me, it has its moments. I've done this before, and you all got in the bulletin some of the highlights of her current position and what she's doing since 2021, president of Georgia College and State University. So I thought I'd be the coloring. Now Kathy's cringing. She's going, oh my. The last time I introduced her, she reminded me daily for a week ahead of time that this is not a roast. So I will do my best. The first thing you need to know about my wife is that she's from a very small town called Bainbridge, Georgia. Now, Bainbridge is closer to Tallahassee, Florida, and Dothan, Alabama, than it is to Albany, Georgia. People around here think, even here, I mean, Atlanta, it's far worse. They think anything south of I-20 is South Georgia. But, think about that corner of the state. And she is the oldest of 4 girls. I will tell you that has its interesting ramifications when you're the spouse of another oldest child. But Kathy has quite a bit to tell about her time in Bainbridge. She grew up in her early years in the Cox Funeral Home. Kathy's dad and her uncle ran Cox Funeral Home, and Kathy's family lived in the funeral home. As Kathy will tell it was a strange thing when she invited her friends to come spend the night. They didn't seem to want to do that. When Kathy graduated from high school at Bainbridge High School, she went up north and saw snow for the first time. Now, y'all might think I'm talking about she went to New York City. No, she went to Tifton, A-back. And that's where she saw snow for the first time. After a 2-year degree in horticulture and a summer at Callaway Gardens, when she decided that working outside in a 100-degree temperature was not for her, she went to the University of Georgia and finished a degree in journalism. After serving as a newspaper reporter in Gainesville, Georgia, and back in Bainbridge at the Post Searchlight, she decided to go to law school. Went to Mercer Law School. She graduated, I think, summa cum laude, but maybe magna cum laude. You know, she might not have quite done so. When I graduated, they said goodbye. She was also editor-in-chief of the law review. She then went and practiced law in Atlanta with a firm called Hansel and Post. Does anybody here, I know Justice Thompson will know this, but anybody here ever hear of the firm Hansel and Post? Well, it's now the international law firm Jones Day. Kathy practiced there for several years, went back to Bainbridge and practiced in the largest firm in Southwest Georgia, where she was the 4th lawyer. Different change of pace. And at that point, that's when the family bug, the family defective gene, came into play. Her father had served as the mayor of Bainbridge and as state representative. He passed away, and she decided that she was going to run for state representative. And in fact, his seat had been reapportioned, and she decided to run for that seat. And I have to get this right. A 16-year incumbent was in that seat, and she beat him. Now think about that. A woman from Southwest Georgia back in the day beating a 16-year incumbent. Quite an accomplishment. After serving 2 terms in the House, she became the Assistant Secretary of State under Lewis Massey. And when Lewis Massey decided to run for governor in 1998, she decided to run for Secretary of State. She won and was only the second woman elected statewide in Georgia. She won re-election handily and then decided to run for governor. And that's when she became president of Young Harris College. In between, she did teach a year at University of Georgia's law school. So 10 years at Young Harris as the president, she doubled the faculty, doubled the student body, built $120 million worth of buildings over a 10-year period, most of which were paid for before they broke ground. So she's very fiscally responsible. Anyway, I do want to go back to one other thing that I left off, because it comes into the next thing that first one I had schemed on and gotten taken care of here. Kathy, during that period back in Bainbridge, she and her sister Glenn became the first women Rotarians in the Bainbridge Rotary Club. I don't remember the year, but it was probably sometime in the late 80s, somewhere in there. Anyway, she has also been a Rotarian at the Rotary Club of Macon while she was dean of the law school there. And so today, because she has recently had a birthday, with Herschel's help, I am presenting her with another Paul Harris Fellow. So, Kathy, if you will come up. Save this for the picture afterwards, unless you're about to get it now. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, without any further introduction or stumbling on my part, I will turn the program over to Kathy.
Thank you very much. He did that without too many embarrassing details, so I appreciate that. But I'm definitely honored by the Paul Harris Fellow Award and all that Rotary stands for, and appreciate all that you all do through Rotary International. My dad was a lifelong Rotarian. And it really means a lot to me. So I'm grateful for your service to the community and to the world through Rotary. I know Mark's commitment as well, and why you're going to trust him as president next year, I don't know. We'll see. That's right. We'll do my best. We'll do my best. I've had a varied pathway, certainly, to get to Milledgeville, and we joke often because over at the old governor's mansion, most of you have probably toured it. In the tour, you'll run across the office of Governor Joseph Brown, who was the Civil War governor. And back in the day when I was serving as Secretary of State, I got this nasty letter from the person who was the curator of the old governor's mansion here before Matt Davis. I don't remember his name, but it was an ugly letter. And it all but accused me of stealing the desk of Governor Brown from the mansion. And it demanded, like a cease and desist letter, demanded that I return this desk to the governor's mansion in Milledgeville, the desk that I was using as Secretary of State in Atlanta. And the letter made me so mad. I went out and got my museum director at the state capitol in Atlanta, and I said, what are they talking about? You know, I knew that Max Cleland had used this desk. I knew that Mr. Ben Fortson had used this desk because it's a big desk. That both of those gentlemen used wheelchairs, and I had seen pictures of them with wheelchairs under that desk. I said, this is just crazy. But I said, whether it's true or not, the letter has made me so mad, I am not going to be cooperative here. So I said, when I leave the Capitol, this desk can leave the Capitol. And so I, blew them off. And so when I did decide that it was time to leave the Capitol, I called down here and I said, I'm about to leave the Capitol if y'all want this desk. By then, Matt Davis was here, and he was a young upstart in our museum department, and he had to drive a truck up to Atlanta and retrieve this desk from me. And apologize for the guy who used to be there, who's no longer there. And they restored the desk, and it is now back in the mansion as the desk, the writing desk of Governor Joseph Brown. So now my story is the desk beat me back to Milledgeville. And Mark and I are very glad to be here and part of this community. And I'm glad here today is such a good example of all the Georgia College connections in this Rotary Club. Not only everybody that Wendell found a way to make you stand up and prove your connections, but so many of our staff members here who really make things thrive at the college as, visitors, Monica Starley and Angela Crisco, who do such fabulous things on our campus. And as your members, of course, nobody tops Wendell. Wendell's our all-purpose guy, cheerleader, AD. He starts every orientation program for parents on the campus because they all remember him, and he's the cheerleader. He does these interviews with me. He's just, over the top. Nobody beats John Jackson in everything that he does for our campus. We've just promoted him into a new role in auxiliaries because there's just like nothing John Jackson does not do well, including serving on our school board in the community, and we're grateful for his service. Seth Walker, y'all have gotten to know, has just taken our advancement operation and gotten it moving in really positive directions, and I'm so glad for his energy. Frank Baugh is another person who just walks on water for our campus. We're so glad for his background in service and taking a historic campus that takes a lot of maintenance and upkeep, as you can imagine, and just keeps things running so well. I'm grateful for his service. And quiet behind the scenes, Fina and Deer, who just makes it happen in our budget and finance offices and knows the ins and outs of what's happening with a lot of money. And I'll point out here, we have a $160 million operating budget, and she knows where every penny of it goes or needs to go or is supposed to go. So there are just so many nice connections here, and we're grateful. I'm grateful for the great team that I get to work with and that all the connections that we have here. So let me jump into a quick little update and overview. Many of you know a lot of these things, but just to give you an example, At the current time, this month, we have 884 full-time employees, 368 part-time faculty and staff. This is not including student workers. So any given day of the week, you know, we have 1,100, 1,200 employees on campus. So not even counting students. This is why it's a parking issue in Milledgeville, because we have a lot. We're the largest employer in the county, without question. But a lot of economic impact flows from some 1,200 plus employees on our campus. This fall, well, to take you back, our all-time high enrollment was the fall before the pandemic started, fall of 2019. We had an all-time overall graduate and undergraduate enrollment of 7,031 students. This fall, we will top that number. We have already registered 7,060 students for the fall, and we're only at August 1st. So there are always another 100 and 150 students that we expect to register. So that's a snapshot of what the fall looks like for us, record high numbers. We offer 35 bachelor's degree programs, 27 master's, and 2 doctoral programs, a doctoral degree in education and a doctorate degree in nursing. We have, figure out how this works here. To give you, I wanted to do a little snapshot on the Hope Scholarship, because the state has just celebrated the 30th anniversary of the creation of the Hope Scholarship. That's a product of how old I am, because I was actually my first year in the legislature. I got to vote on the creation of the Hope Scholarship. I used to love the one thing, you know, politicians don't always get a good rap, but every time I went to the grocery store that year, I had parents thanking me for the Hope Scholarship. It was the first time they really felt like government did anything for them, and they felt it in their pocketbooks. And here's some real numbers. Georgia College, over the last 30 to 31 years, has brought in $481 million in Hope Scholarship dollars to Baldwin County in our budget over those 31 years. And 91% of our entering class, generally 90+% of our students, come in with the Hope Scholarship. They don't all keep it. Some lose it, and you can earn it back. If you drop below a B average, you lose the Hope Scholarship. But if you drop below B, you can earn it back. Not all do. So our average graduation rate is about 75% of our students graduate with Hope. That's really high. In the whole university system of Georgia, only about 46% of students have earned the Hope Scholarship. So average 46%, we graduate 75% with Hope. So that gives you a snapshot of the caliber of our students. Some 40,000 have brought in Hope to us, and over 12,000, almost 13,000 in Baldwin County have earned that Hope Scholarship. The majors that students pursue here, people kind of get confused. Oh, you're a liberal arts college. They're all sitting around studying philosophy. Well, philosophy is a very popular elective course, but it's not necessarily a popular major. Our students' #1 major is business, by far. Business and management and business marketing, 2 top majors in several consecutive years here. Education programs, psychology programs, nursing, exercise science, mass communication, those have pretty consistently, slightly in different rankings maybe, but been our top majors in recent years. But all of our degree programs are, of course, grounded in liberal arts fundamentals. We are doing very well in the rankings that are somewhat, you know, annoying for schools, I guess is a good word, to say, how do you figure out where your rankings are going to fall? Other schools vote on you for rankings. Some of it's based on just data. Some of it's sometimes based on how well your alumni give back to your school. But we're doing very well in the rankings, and we're ranked in a category called public regional universities. And that is a swath of schools that goes basically from Texas up to Virginia. And if you look at all of the schools, all public regional universities from Texas to Virginia, we are ranked as the number 16 best regional university in that whole area. If you take out just the publics, not all publics and privates, we're the number 6 best public university among regional universities in that whole swath of similar style state universities. We ranked as the number 4 most innovative regional university among publics in that category. The number 3 in the best teaching excellence in the way that we teach. We ranked number 1 in the best public nursing programs in the state of Georgia. In full disclosure, we tied with the Medical College of Georgia, but that's not bad company to be tied with the Medical College of Georgia among dozens of nursing programs in the state of Georgia. Number 1 ranking for undergraduate business programs and psychology programs. Number 2 for undergraduate computer science programs. So phenomenal undergraduate programs. We don't have any online undergraduate programs. We're probably the only school in the university system of Georgia like that. Our undergrad programs are all in person, face-to-face. That is a hallmark of Georgia College. But most of our graduate programs are online, some hybrid, some in person, and they are ranked very well. Number 1, nursing, our graduate nursing programs. We have a lot of graduate Master of Science nursing, which is what you might know as advanced practice nurses. We have a number of advanced practice nursing programs and a doctoral program, number 1. Number 2, online masters in the College of Business degree. Number 2, online MBA. Top 100 in the country, online graduate programs in business, education, criminal justice. Top 10 Masters of Education in Criminal Justice. So really top tier programs that attract really good students. So let me move on to athletics, because Wendell and I love this and love to brag about the phenomenal things happening in athletics. Spring was a great season for baseball. Our baseball team, as many of you know, and fully supported our team, advanced all the way to the NCAA Super Regionals, which was a great success. The Super Regionals for Division II is the equivalent of the Sweet 16 in basketball. So we had a great season. We only graduated 4 guys off the team, so it looks like we have a great opportunity for repeat success. We also were named, our conference is the Peach Belt. We were named the Peach Belt Institution of the Year for sportsmanship. And Wendell and I take this very seriously because we know most of our student athletes who are playing D2 athletics are not going on to be professional athletes, but they are going on to be professionals in some field that they are studying. And that's why we think sportsmanship is something important for them to learn while they are here at Georgia College. And so we drill sportsmanship into them. Our men's basketball, men's tennis, and volleyball teams individually won sportsmanship awards. So some schools don't necessarily emphasize this, but we think those are good skills to learn from the coaches to the team members about how do you lose gracefully, how do you win gracefully, how do you become a good sportsman in a competitive field like athletics, and how do you take that into the workplace. Outside of NCAA athletics, we have a phenomenal intramural program. If you're ever driving out on West Campus on the bypass, any Sunday through Thursday night, it is going on out there with intramurals. 40% of our students play intramurals, not just flag football, but cornhole, basketball, you name it. We got it in intramurals. But our men's flag football team won the national championship, back-to-back titles. We won it the day before UGA won their national championship last year. So just saying, this is a real national championship. We won it in Texas one year and Oklahoma last year. So national competition and really fun, bonding, friend making, great opportunity with our student athletes. And non-varsity athletes. For the past 2 years, we have had the Truman Scholar for the state of Georgia. Truman scholarships are given out by the Truman Foundation in memory of President Truman to one student per state who is interested in a career in public service. They get tens of thousands of scholarship dollars. They get phenomenal internship opportunities, networking opportunities, and more. And our 2 students here, Colin Hall last year, Axel Hawkins this coming year, have won the Truman Scholarship, beating out students from UGA, Georgia Tech, Morehouse, phenomenally good institutions in Georgia to be the Truman Scholar for the state of Georgia. Both of them have been interning on Capitol Hill in Washington this summer for Senator Warnock and other Congress people. So they've had great summers, and we're just proud as punch of both of them. This is a statistic that I never fail to talk about because I don't think there's a school in the country that can match this. But when Dr. Ken Saladin was teaching, he started mentoring students who were going to medical school because he wanted them to have the best opportunity to succeed and get into med school. When he retired, he endowed a professorship to continue that program. And now for 15 consecutive years, we have had a 100% placement rate of students applying to medical school who go through our pre-med mentorship program. Nobody can touch that. Now, UGA has a lot more students who want to go to med school, and I'm told that they have one advisor. So they might never even meet the advisor. They might get some emails, but they don't get pre-med mentoring. Nobody can match this rate, and we're so proud of it and proud of what our students can do. So we named our new science building, as you know, back in April for Dr. Saladin. It's a great addition to all of our science programs, our undergraduate research, a phenomenal addition to our whole campus. If you haven't been through it, we'd love to tour you through it sometime. And the next project that is already underway, as Frank can give you all the details, is right across the street. Longtime science building, Hurdy Hall, is now under renovation. We got all the funding we needed through the legislature, knock on wood, and thanks to Senator Rick Williams and Representative Ken Vance, who especially worked very hard for us, along with Representative Mac Jackson from Sandersville, who represents part of Baldwin, worked hard to help us get this money. And so over the next 2 years, you'll see a lot of moving parts around Hurdy Hall. You may have some block streets and things, but a long needed renovation for Hurdy Hall will be underway. Also, you've probably seen some construction fencing going up at the corner of Montgomery and Wayne Street because we are building a new music practice facility on that corner. Our band room is in a leased building right now. Our choral voice groups have to practice in Porter Hall in a building that's not really appropriate, no sound separation. So they're going to have 2 big high ceiling rooms for practice, for instrument storage. It's going to be a really nice addition to our music practice, music program, and very excited to get that underway. Naming opportunities are available. See Seth Walker if you'd like to put your name on a nice portion of that building. We started this past year what we call double Bobcat programs that will enable students who are interested in pursuing graduate study to get some of their graduate credits while they're an undergraduate. So they, for example, can earn up to 12 credit hours that applies to their undergraduate program that would give them a head start in their graduate program. So we had some of the first graduates this May who already enrolled in that program and already have a head start, save money, save time on their graduate program by becoming double Bobcats. And we get to keep them then into their master's level programs. We have 10 current programs in those pathways, more are in the works. We started 2 new graduate degrees this past year, MAT, Masters of Art in Teaching. That's typically for students who did not get an undergraduate program in education, but decide they want to go into teaching. And MAT is really designed for that. They can go right into elementary teaching for that. and a Bachelor of Nursing into the doctoral program. We've had the doctoral program. We currently had about 4 to 6 students enrolled in it, but an accelerated pathway moved it from 4 to 40 in that pathway by opening that up for students. I know we're running out of time, and so I want to mention a couple of last little things. This one I think you'll be interested in. We have a relatively new finance major in the business school. Open that up as a new major and already have 250 students enrolled as finance majors, and they are gung-ho ready to go. So they came to our trustees of our Georgia College Foundation and said, we want to learn by doing. Will you let us manage some of the endowment? And they made such an impressive presentation. They'd already structured out, just like maybe your Charles Schwab account. We've got analysts designated for each sector of the S&P 500. We've got all of these things, just like you would call up your broker to analyze elements of the stock market. They blew our trustees away. And so in like a blink, they said, motion to give them $100,000. And so they're not getting it, but they're getting to manage it. So we can compare their performance with our paid advisors and see who's really, doing the best job for us. So they're excited. We're excited. You can follow their progress on LinkedIn. So look for Georgia College Student Managed Investment Club, and you can follow how they manage our funds. We have a brand new strategic plan that we've talked about somewhat before that's underway. I want to mention out at Andalusia, because Flannery O'Connor's 100th birthday is coming up next March. You'll hear a lot more of special activities we'll have planned for that. As to Andalusia and the old governor's mansion, both are national historic landmarks. Very few campuses in the country have a single national historic landmark, much less two. The two of them together bring in some 18,000 tourists a year to Georgia, and we expect more of that with the new interpretive center we've added at Andalusia. Volunteerism is strong at Georgia College, as Jennifer Pollard made mention of. Because students are about to go out to Lockerly. We have Gives Day, which is the first weekend right before school starts. We send our entire freshman class out to benefit nonprofits all over campus. And that goes on throughout the year with so many student service organizations that benefit this campus. Last year, to the tune of 45,000 hours that they spent on campus on help in the community. If you put even a minimum wage on that, you'd be talking an economic impact of over $1 million. We added some bullet points of ways we'd love to work more with Rotary. We'd love to have a Rotaract club on our campus, which we hope is something you might think about. We'd love for all of you to think about more opportunities for internships of our students in your businesses. Our students love to learn by doing. We'd love to have your help in doing practice interviews for our students with our Career Center. Lots of more ways for you to engage with us. This is a quick profile of our entering class. Again, we expect an entering class of about 1,800, overall enrollment plus 7,000. We've had a 42% increase in applications in the past 2 years alone. So there is dramatic increase in interest in Georgia College. And a lot of people have the sense that we overlook our local students. So I wanted you to know this chart between Baldwin County and the 5 surrounding counties. These are little bitty numbers. Last year, we had 485 students from Baldwin and the surrounding counties. This year, it's predicted to be about 404. That includes 183 from Baldwin alone, plus the other surrounding counties. Our recruiters are at Baldwin High School and the private schools in Baldwin County every week. We do not overlook them, as some people might suggest to you. We love to have our local students, but the truth is, just like some of your own children, they are ready to go away from home. And we grasp that as much as we love them and want to keep them. I have the best job anywhere because we have these phenomenal students and I get to interact with them all the time, as well as phenomenal faculty and staff who were so committed to them. Thank you for the time today. You can click on this QR code if you want to take this presentation home and look at any of the data, but I know we're out of time. So I'll hang around if you have questions, but thank you for giving us the time today.
Okay, President Thompson did have something for you. We have this speaker pen, it's a rotary braided pen, and this is one of Jill's books from our collection that we'd like to get signed to commemorate your visit today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm happy to.
Thank you to our visitors, Hugh Thompson, thank you so much for joining us today, and Monica Starkley and Angela Crisco. We appreciate all you coming today also, and this meeting's adjourned.
Great job.